live the most life, be who she needs to be. That's crippling, man. That's like, that really got to me afterwards, and it was something that really scared me. Away from, it didn't sort of reduce me to tears, but it's something that just felt so relevant and felt so resonant, like what we go through sort of like daily, you know, sort of living with that kind of, it's like a shadow overhead almost, and it's just kind of like, it's just bad, but then also in that game you get to fall down a hill in the dark, and it's like, how do I reconcile these things, because that's awesome, and then, oh, it's crippling dread! And yeah, so that was it.
It's a tough act to follow, this one, because I've been racking my brain about what to talk about here. It's just, I've not played stuff that has that kind of emotional weight to it, unless I'm just being really thick and I can't think of one. But there's the childhood memories I mentioned last time about being to Streets of Rage. Like that was a big thing for me and my friend, because you know we were splitting up for the first like proper time for 15 years. We've known each other since we were kids, and it's like I'm trying to think about where to go with this. And I think the one thing I think of isn't even me. It was my mum, and it's gonna be a broken down record because it's about my Mega Drive that I have, because the Mega Drive I own is my dad's, and my mum bought it for him in Christmas 1993, I want to say. My dad went out on the piss on Christmas Eve, came home, and then on Christmas morning my mum walked into the bathroom to find him in a cold bath, dropped the Mega Drive in front of him and went, "Happy Christmas," and then walked out of the room. But you know, my mum said that she remembers sitting and watching my dad play Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one, and then obviously my dad introduced me to the Mega Drive when I was a kid, because that was my first experience of video games. And then last year when Sonic Mania came out on PS4, when my parents came to visit me here in Newcastle, only like a week or so after it released, and so I was like, "Dad, you know, you've got to try this, because it's so much like it was, you know, they did such an amazing job with it." And then we were sat playing, my dad was playing on PS4, I was sat next to him, my mum was sat on the sofa, and she was just looking at us, and she just sort of went, this is how I remember it, like back when you were a kid. Like, you know, all that's kind of changed. It's, you know, it's your dad playing it, you're showing him it. And just sort of straight back to the 90s, when Mega Drive was king. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to channel how she was feeling, because it wasn't me feeling it, but that's kind of what I have.
Oh god, so yeah, like there's a lot of them. There's we've talked about these quite a bit in the office, because every now and then you come across something where it just knocks you for six. It's just sort of like, well, everything was going right, and then someone died or whatever. One of the oldest ones we've talked about is Final Fantasy VII. But for me, and I have to go into spoilers which have been flagged, but it's Celeste, which just came out this year. But at the end of that game, I was a raw person. And not in a bad way, just in a completely emotionally drained, like, oh god, I'm never going to feel this ever again kind of way. So Celeste, if you haven't played it, is all about, you play as this little girl called Madeline, and she's basically trying to climb the mountain of Celeste. And it starts out, you know, it's a side-scrolling platform, it's all pixel and delicious, and it's all lovely. And it's just, you know, you just go on your way, and you try and make your way up the mountain, and you encounter a bunch of different people, whether it's this old grandma that laughs at you, and sort of, like, she sort of represents, like, the older generations being like, why would you even try? Just stick to your post, don't worry about it. And you meet a bunch of different people in it, and basically you slowly find out that the mountain pretty much represents, like, all of Madeline's, like, inner struggles. Everything that she comes up against, and it's a metaphor. It's like, you know, the whole point of overcoming the mountain is to overcome whichever struggle you're up against in your life. And that manifests in the game by her having like a shadow self. And basically, across the whole game, you encounter the shadow self a bunch of times. The shadow self mocks you and sort of insults you. It's like, why are you even trying? Like, you can't do this. And, you know, it points out that basically Madeline struggled with a lot of things in the past. And you can make allegories to, like, you know, depression or anxiety, mental struggle.
What the fuck kind of depressing shit is this shit playing? Get the fuck out of here.
It seems to be a little world within itself.
Let me start that again. A game that I can't help but go back back to for the past 5-ish years now is Dark Souls. And the funny thing is, the first one, it's not that long. I can probably complete it now in maybe like 5 or 6 hours. But then I just keep finding reasons to go back and replay it. There's so many different ways you can play it. You can go through with a strength build, you can go through with a magic build, you can set yourself new challenges, like a minute. In the remastered version, oh yeah, that's a thing, because yeah, no, they made me buy it again because it's remastered. I'm going through like never leveling up, so I'm only on level 1, and I just keep finding reasons to go back to it.
Oh shit, it's time to fucking get the fuck off this game.
I love it. Absolutely buying it again on Switch.
Most playable game is probably Bioshock. Because it is one of, say it with me kids, my favourite game of all time! Yes! What, when did you stop liking fun? Well, basically, I love Bioshock just because not only it's one of the best narratives in game, I feel like it's like Ken Levine did a fantastic job with his team creating something that felt very immediately real but totally fantastical at the same time. I like the shooting in it. A lot of people say that the first one didn't have that good shooting mechanics, but I thought it was brilliant. But I've played it enough times to know all the story beats and know where all the secrets are, but still get caught out by the enemies, like the splicers jumping down from the roof. And like there's a bit in the medical pavilion that still gets me, where you like touch a body and then the screen goes all foggy, and I'm like, oh, nothing happened. Turn around, there's one right in front of your face, and it always got me. So yeah, I definitely would kindly go back there. That was bad grammar, but it kind of made sense.
Well, the two replayable, like, I mean, you know, there's a whole bunch of stories that are awesome. I used to live on the first Metal Gear Solid. I finished the PS1 version of that.
Then get the fuck out of my face.
Things didn't happen about 27 times, but the game that I play every single day, literally, is Rocket League. Just one of the best physics models, one of the best games. It's just a brilliant, beautiful, simplistic idea. Physics-based soccer, football, with cars, nitro-powered, rocket-powered, supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars. It's brilliant. And I just can't get enough of it. I sort of just, I play like 2 or 3 games nearly every night. I have no idea what my hour count is, because I lost that years ago. It's been out for like 4 years or something now, anyway. 3. But yeah, it would be that. Anyone who ever wants to have a go.
Our dedication to the ways of science has attracted a great...
Yeah, he thinks he's all that.
No! Well, I would say my most replayable game, I'm going to cheat and say it's probably 3 games, is the Spyro on PlayStation 1. So Spyro, the Dragon, Ripto's Revenge, or Ripto's Rage, one of them. I can't remember. Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon, all those 3. I played through them so many times just because I love the whole like nostalgia trip that they give you, and it's freeing dragons and the fairies on the Game Boy Advance one as well. That's irrelevant, but still, it's a good game.
Fuck you,
I just think it's one of those ones that provides a little bit of everything. So you've got like the mini missions with sparks, and I just keep going back to it, and I think it's the nostalgia factor that drives it.
Why is he still alive?
Still game, and all 3 of them are so good.
I was gonna be here all fucking day.
A lot of time. I was talking to Rachel earlier, we were both mentioning going back to the skate park and just doing that over and over again with being Hunter, skating around in the park as much as possible. So yeah, that would be what I would spend most of my time doing.
Yeah, so again, not actually. I'm gonna say for a game like this, it's Half-Life 2. Don't even need to think about that. It's Half-Life 2. It's one of the games I play annually. I play it every year. I play that, and I play the episode 1 and episode 2 as well. Sometimes go back to Half-Life 1, maybe play Black Mesa, maybe play Lost Coast, the demo that for some reason I still have. But it's the game I love playing through over and over again. It just never gets boring. I can't play it like I can finish it and start it again straight away, but I do find myself playing it every 6 months, every year or so. Just because it's just so engrossing, and I can just sit and just waste like a whole weekend just playing through Half-Life 2 again. And it's just, so varied, it's so fun, and it's also just going back and playing through what is an absolute masterpiece. And it also sort of subsides the part of me that wants to scream that we're still waiting for Half-Life 3, but it does the job of keeping it at bay. So yeah, Half-Life 2, 10 out of 10.
Hey, Josh Brown on the leg. Oh, for God's sake, Josh.
Well, for me, this is Fallout New Vegas. I've had an on-again, off-again relationship with this game for about 8 years. I think it came out in 2010, and I bought it at launch,
beat this
traded
fucking
it in for the
city.
original Black
Wow,
Ops
go to
because it got a
sleep,
nice,
jeez.
sweet deal, and it was really good, and then ended up buying it again. A few years went by, bought it again, bought it twice at uni because one copy was at home, and I haven't actually finished this game since, but I must have put about 100 hours into it. I always jump back into the beginning because obviously my saves don't carry over because I've had about 5 different Xbox 360s and Xbox Ones. So I always start again and see the doctor's head spin around and around. They've patched that, which they shouldn't have done because that was by far the best part of that game. And it's a great game, and it's so liberating to get shot in the head at the start of a game and then have the rest of it be your story, and you can just go off after that town and do whatever you want. It's just really enjoyable to sort of walk around the Mojave wasteland while listening to Big Iron and sort of Ain't That a Kick in the Head. That kind of Vegas feel to it that's really, it's got a really Elvis-inspired sort of aesthetic, and there are an actual sort of tribe of people who are inspired by Elvis, and that just sort of appeals to me. That kind of Americana is great, and I just sort of like wandering around doing the side quest and not giving a goddamn about the main missions. That's who it is. Hey, how's it going?
Well, in general, the list is unbelievably long. No, specifically things that annoy me in video games. Well, I did a video on the channel which was these video game mechanics suck. So I've already detailed about 3 or 4 of them there that really bubble my piss. But one that really just reaches behind and just plucks my arsehole hair is definitely when I'm trying to sell stuff to a merchant and he ain't got enough cash to do the transaction properly. If I'm showing up there, right, and I wanted to shift a bit of dodgy ceramics that I picked up, I want to know that he's got the rupees to back up his shop. But he don't, does he? I tell you what, I hate it when people are as cheap as your mum's leopard print thong, that she never wears, by the way, because she's an absolute moose for the peen. It just really grills my coals, right? It's just, I'm steaming now. Let's go and have a bath.
Many things come to mind, but the thing I'm going to go with initially is the most overarching thing, which is over-encumbrance. It's the complete ruination of every Bethesda RPG, and it means that you can't take all the beautiful spoils of your quests with you whenever you've just finished the latest thing that you've been doing. It always just pops up and says you can't collect all the bones or the jewels or whatever you want to pick up, and you've got to end up going back and forth or trying to call your horse to put it on the horse armor to carry that back to the home village, and it's just always a burden. I don't really understand the point of it, other than just trying to limit it so that you can't game the shopkeep or whatever, but just spoils a thing that I've just earned. Just give me it. I want the bones and the jewels. Jewels? So yeah. I want your bones, mate.
Don't know, because I don't really play a lot of games that I hate. So instead I'm going to talk about things that I hate in games that I love, which I guess sort of falls under it. So I hate when games just won't let go of your hands, like literally just hand holding for hours. I was playing Okami last night and I finally got to some gameplay about an hour and a half in. I was taking my time reading a very lengthy intro and I finally got to play and it's like, did you know you can press B to jump? And I was like, I probably would have guessed that, yeah. And then it's like, oh yeah, look, there's some pots. You should try pressing Y and maybe you can break them. I'm like, finally let me play. You just won't even let me play. Just give me Another example is if you've ever played Super Mario Odyssey. Oh, again, I love it. I feel bad ranting on it, but oh my god, like 60 hours into that game, and it's still like, do this thing with this thing, and they just, the prompts, you can't get rid of them. They're so annoying. I really hate it when games individual that I clearly am. But you know the worst offender? The worst offender.
Bitch.
Also, there's also the fact that, like, you're back to the shopkeep and you're like, hey, I want to give you this stuff, and you go into the buy menu, or sorry, you go to the sell menu, and then you start selling some stuff, and there's another option to jump back across into the buy thing. Maybe I want to go back and forth, maybe I want to put the sword right there, and then maybe I don't want to go back into the other optional thing of my inventory, and then back into the merchant screen and swap it over again. Maybe I want to do all that in one screen instead of going back and forth. Dragon Quest XI got it right, but a lot of the Bethesda ones didn't. I just don't even see the point of that.
Oh boy, howdy! It stopped me playing a game. I got Dead Island on Steam like a couple of years ago because I like zombie games. I thought I'd give it a go. I've heard all right things. It's a zombie FPS. Let's give it a bash. And then I played it for like an hour and a bit, and genuinely, it's just cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. Like, it's like, okay, you're finally in control of your character. Walk over there and open a door. You know, press W and then press E, and then you do that, and it goes cutscene. And it's like, oh, now you need to go over there and pick up this med kit. You go do that. Oh, cutscene. And it was just over and over and over again. And I'd heard that people, like a big criticism of Dead Island was that how many cutscenes there were, but I didn't realise how much they actually took the piss in the game. I just couldn't play any more of it because I thought if the whole game's gonna be like this, I may as well watch a film. What a load of
And while I'm talking about things to do with RPG stuff, The Witcher 3, despite being one of the best games of all time that I've put like 600 hours into, I'll go up and down with the thing. It just, why was there fall damage in that? Why could Geralt, the Lord and Savior, Super Master Beastman, as soon as he fell down like a crevice of like 3 inches, he just died, and you had to restart the whole thing again? I just didn't see the point of that when he's clearly so overpowered in every other possible regard. But someone puts a contract out on like a hill and it'll just best him.
Motion controls. I don't care for motion controls. I don't care for having a remote and wangling around, doing a big old wangle. I don't want to play like that. I want to sit on my ass with my bag of crisps, some Doritos, a bottle of Mountain Dew, all that crap. I want to live up to my stereotype, buried in my sofa, sticking in like the Linkin Park man in Saw, and never come out. I don't want to have some exercise and be getting a sweat on when I'm trying to like kill zombies or run around riding a dragon. I don't have to flap my wings to go through the sky. I don't have to play tennis. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I just want to sit nicely and play my game. So yes, if there's one thing I could kill off completely, it would be motion control games. No wangling. Cut the wangling.
And it's not even related to that whatsoever, but let's just point out the sheer annoyance of every single third-person action game doing that thing where the camera zooms in and you just slowly go through a crevice. You either go through sideways or you just sort of like go through this little thing. It's always meant to be a way to hide load times, but it happens every like 30 seconds and it's just the most infuriating thing. Just load the whole level in one go and then you play the game.
Video game adaptations have always struggled when they've been given the big screen treatment. I mean, just think, how many films based on games have performed well enough at the box office to justify sequels that aren't direct to video? There's less than a handful, and most of them were directed by you King Ball. That's how bad things are. Some genuinely good game movies have slipped through the cracks though, but these underrated adaptations have hit the big screen to a large portion of the audience, taking up pitchforks and trying to run the filmmaker out of town. Because us gamers are a difficult lot to please, especially when movies change the gaming source material in huge ways. But now that the fires of these flicks have been stoked, there are some gaming movies that deserve another chance. I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 game-to-movie adaptations that get way too much hate. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. Number 10, Need for Speed. Despite being a low-rent Fast and Furious, 2014's Need for Speed actually hit a lot of the notes it needed to, especially when it came to paying homage to its source material. The cops are just as insatiably and frustratingly vigilant as they are in the game, and the vehicular mayhem is spectacularly ludicrous in all the right ways. Unfortunately, there's no jumping cars between skyscrapers here though. The story can get a little murky when it dips into the redemptive/vengeful angle, but Aaron Paul is a capable enough leading man to carry the sometimes hollow script. It's the action that we all come to a movie like this for though, and the well choreographed stunts are almost enough to make you forget you're watching a movie adaptation of a game based on a Top Gun quote. It won't change the world, but Need for Speed is still a worthwhile watch, even just to see all those wonderfully cinematic wipeouts from the game brilliantly brought to life. Number 9, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Although it wasn't particularly well received at the time, for a while Prince of Persia became known as one of the best examples of a big budget video game movie, taking inspiration from Indiana Jones mixed with some Pirates of the Caribbean style swashbuckling as much as it does the source material. Many of the criticisms thrown at this movie involve wasting the immense talents of its all-star cast, which includes Jake Gyllenhaal, Ben Kingsley and Alfred Molina. But those critics mustn't have watched the whole movie, because all three of those principal actors were pretty damn good, all things considered. So yeah, Prince of Persia is more than a tad derivative, but at least it borrows from the best, and does it with enough style and substance to make it an exciting watch throughout. Number 8. Dead or Alive. In a rational world, a Dead or Alive movie should not have made it past pre-production. Seriously, how did a film based on a video game whose central conceit is we made these boobs capable of bouncing a lot ever get greenlit in the first place? But, more to the point, how did a movie like this actually turn out to be so good? The premise is what you'd expect from any tournament-based fighting game. A diverse group of warriors from all over the world converge on an island to compete in a secret martial arts tournament, as you do, and prove that they are, in the words of the Karate Kid soundtrack, the best around. Nothing's ever going to get them down. Except, of course, maybe a massive roundhouse kick to the face, but that wouldn't have made a catchy lyric, would it? It's completely ridiculous, and perhaps errs a little more on the so bad it's good side of things than anything else on this list, but taken at face value, Dead or Alive is a bloody good time. Number 7. The Angry Birds movie. For some reason, I know that saying the Angry Birds movie isn't that bad is going to draw more ire than any of the other entries on this list. But you know what? The Angry Birds movie is pretty good. Where other animated adaptations of games like Ratchet and Clank failed to capture the spirit of the originals, this flick perhaps worked so well because it had virtually nothing more than a name and character designs to draw from. Consequently, it doesn't feel like it's suffocating under its source material, and instead has the freedom to tell whatever story it wanted to. Sure, that story might not have been world-changing, but with a great cast, spot-on animation, and humor that isn't totally for the kids, the Angry Birds movie is far from the disaster many pitched it as, at least. Number 6. Warcraft. To get one thing out the way first, Duncan Jones's Warcraft isn't a great movie, but it's probably as good as it ever could have been. Going through a tumultuous production with everyone from Blizzard to the producers at Legendary warring over the direction the movie should take, it's a miracle that anything good made it through to the end product at all. But there is good to be found in the movie adaptation, and there's a real heart to everything that's happening. The performances from both the humans as well as the orcs, which is stunningly brought to life with some particularly good